What is going on, everyone? Back again!
We're back at it again with the white vans.
For another video. We are talking about the Black Sheep today, so everyone get excited. Everyone's been commenting lately, when's it going back? When are we going to see it at the track? When's it going on the dyno? All this stuff, we're going to talk about that today. But before we get started, I am doing that giveaway, so I do have to tell you, it's going to take like literally 1 or 2 minutes. I give you guys free content. There's a couple of you people in the comments that just absolutely hate when I kind of plug my own stuff. Guys, this is how I survive. This is how I eat. This is how I am able to make daily content for you guys to watch for free. So if you can't support me, if you don't make it through, if you die before this little 1.5 minute plug of my merchandise is through, I'm so sincerely sorry. But right now I'm selling all these green shirts. I got a bunch. I'm selling them for like $10 or $12 a piece, and that can get you entered. Every item that you buy in the store is an entry into this giveaway. So if you don't want to spend a lot of money, there's your chance. I got a bunch of badass hats. I mentioned before. Here they are. I got Ellis Nasty 8 deck Ellis Nasty. I got beanies. I got toboggans, or whatever you guys call them down here. I got retro hats. I got some gray ones and some green ones. I got the other Ellis Nasty shirts. I got 2 Christmas shirts and a new one that's like Life is Good with horsepower shirt. So every item that you purchase is an entry into the giveaway. So if you're looking to win either a 78mm billet wheel turbo or a nitro system, I highly recommend going, grabbing that stuff. I got some stuff on sale. Some stuff is pre-orders, but really, you win either way. You get a badass shirt, or you get a badass shirt and your choice of a turbo and nitro system if you win. But what we are talking about today, like I mentioned before, is the Black Sheep. As you can see, it's got its front end off. Some awesome stuff we got going on with it, which really separates this build from the other stuff. You guys see I'm rocking the Dieter's Custom Finishing banner up here. This is actually Jesse Oxidines car, TKM, single turbo, alcohol, fastest leaf spring car in the world, I believe. Kevin's been driving it lately, doing a killer job. He does the tuning, and look, it's polished up by, I mean, just this banner does no justice to the shine that is on that car, and we're gonna put some of that shine on this. My boy Joe C over at Dieter's, he is the baddest man with a polisher. He's got this magical bench. He's got magical hands. Pretty much, he's just like a magician. We got this polished. This was not polished by Dieter's. One of the guys that comes and cleans the toters snagged that, and he snagged my other one because he said he wanted to polish them. So he just took them and polished them and just put a little shine on that. But Joe C hit me up and said, dude, those bullhorns, they need to be shining. And then he is getting this also. So he's going to do his work, and I can't wait to show you guys. Now, here's the before, so get a good look at it. We'll reference back to this footage when it's done, but it's just raw aluminum. Some gnarly looking teardrops that Jason Brazzel whooped up. I mean, these things are intense. I mean, they're stout. They're dangerous. They're definitely extremely deadly. If you fall on that, you will die. And then we got the hood line. Literally comes like right underneath this. So the Wilson elbow, which I love. I mean, this is like my baby. And the Wilson throttle body. All of that stuff. I'm going to send the bullhorns off and the elbow, and that'll go see Joe C. And he'll work his magic, and then we'll get it back. We'll put it on the car, and you guys can see it. And I really, lately, I've fallen in love with the whole polished look. Before, I was really all about, like, the black or the grays. But after you see one car in person, it was the intro to my last video, was the TKM billet atomizer equipped, Dieter's Custom Finishing equipped, Mickey 400 twin precision whatever massive turbos, TKM Hemi, that Corvette that when they run an RVW. And that whole thing, hot side and aluminum cold side, was all done by the guys over at Dieter's. And I kid you not, it's literally like he built the turbo kit out of a mirror. The guys over at Rock Solid Motorsports did the turbo kit. You guys have heard that name before. I got their front end kit on my F body, and I got their motor plate and stuff. So they built an awesome turbo kit, sent it off to Dieter's, and words can't, it's a shame I have to film it and show you guys. I wish you guys could all see it in person because the camera doesn't even do it justice. But enough about that. Let's get talking about what we got going on here. We are very, very, very very, very, very close to hitting the track. The turbo kit is done. Hot and cold side's done. We got some fresh Billet Atomizer 700 injectors. Shout out to the guys at Billet Atomizer, Alan and Jack. Those guys, Billet Atomizer to the front. I mean, if you're running alcohol, you need to run their injectors. Yeah, so we got to get a fuel rail. We got to put the injectors in. We got to run fuel line. Jason Brazzel, BPF, built us a new fuel cell. Awesome, because the other fuel cell, you weren't able to get out the top. You literally had to jack the car up and drop it out the bottom. So if you have an issue at the track, it's a nightmare. This one he redid, cut this out so we could run the factory headlights, because as you see, we put some legit factory headlights back in the front end here. And don't mind my fiberglass work. So now we could wire them up, have functioning headlights. And then we just got like little odds and ends stuff. Now the wiring harness on this car is already compatible for this. The only thing that we are missing is like a flying magnet reluctor pickup, and then we should be good. That's really it. That's the only thing that we have to do with this is just figure out. We got to get some sort of crank sensor on there, and then we have to hook the wiring system up. And then the other thing, which is what I want to talk about today, is fuel system. Now, fuel system is extremely important, especially when we're in an alcohol-equipped vehicle. Mechanical fuel pumps are becoming more and more and more popular. Doug and the guys over at Motion Raceworks, which are right up there, they have some awesome kits out there for street car stuff where you can have the fuel tank in the back and still run a mechanical fuel pump, and you run it with a cable drive system. So fuel pump in the back, you run a cable that has a gear that goes off of either a mandrel at the front or a gear on the crank snout, and that's what runs it, you know. So you're able to have the badass, amazing, ridiculous amount of fuel flow with a mechanical pump and still run it in the back. If you run it up front, it'll cavitate and you'll run into some issues. So you don't really ever see someone running a mechanical fuel pump up front in like a huge line to the tank, because they have some issues. But lucky for us, we got the fuel cell up front, so all we have to do is mount the fuel pump somewhere. And we got this balancer that has a some sort of gear. I don't know if it's specifically for, now I want to say that is for like a cable drive setup, but we're going to see if we can make it work with a fuel pump, because as you can see, real estate here is kind of an issue. We don't have a lot of room. A lot of times you'll put a mandrel off the front and then hang the fuel pump out here. But we're going to try to sink it back and go behind it, so the only thing hanging off the front of the balancer will be the reluctor. This setup is, I wouldn't say ideal for this configuration, but this engine was never intended to go in this vehicle. This engine was set up to go in the Silverback Z06, where we would be running a cable drive fuel system. So you put the cable drive pulley like right here, just off a bracket, and run a cable all the way to the back. Pow, you're done. So the balancer would actually sit further back if we didn't have that there, and then you'd be able to run a mandrel off the front. But that did not happen in this case. So what we have here is we got an order in from my guys over at Alky Diggers. Absolute awesome company for all your fuel system needs. They do a lot of like blown stuff, as you can tell by like Alky Diggers. I mean, it sounds like, here, this pamphlet's probably a more accurate representation. I mean, everything over there has got like blown Hemis. This is some stuff that like John Gorey and Meth Head really likes. I mean, look at this, big blowers and billet and polish and burnouts and big tires and drag boats. I mean, this is them. But they are absolute awesome company. Super, super knowledgeable. So if you are in the market for any mechanical fuel pumps, anything with blowers, anything on alcohol, hence the name Alky Diggers, I recommend you hit them up. But we got some pulleys, and we got two different fuel pumps. Now what we have here are the Enderley pumps, a little bit different. Now I have one for the salty chicken. Oh god, I'm just tearing everything off. I have one similar to this, but not quite as extreme, for the salty chicken. This one right here is a 19 gallon per minute mechanical fuel pump. The one that I have is a 13 gallon per minute fuel pump. And I mean, dash 20 in, I think it's a dash 12 out, and then all we have to do is figure out a way to mount it somewhere right down in there where the pulleys line up. Now that's going to be an issue. We got a a lot of stuff hanging down in the way. You don't want this to be like the lowest thing. I mean, if you come down from a wheelie, you definitely don't want to hit this. But I mean, you can just see the size and the size now. The Flowtech down and forward facing headers are great, but it's tough. I don't know where we're going to put it at this point, to be honest. Ben and Jason probably have a better idea than I do. But yeah, you can run these pumps either way. So you can have it sitting in this orientation or there. I mean, it's mechanical. It's got a gear in it. Either way, it's gonna flow. As far as where it's going to go, we can't really put it on the other side because the other side has a timing pointer on it, which is absolutely awesome. Very important if you're running an aftermarket computer to have a timing pointer to verify timing, because you have to now correlate actual timing that the engine has to what's in the computer, and if there's any offset, you have to go and do that. If this video is a little too informational for you, just comment below. I'd love to have some awesome comments in the comment section of this video talking about fuel pumps and timing pointers and you know, whether you guys run mechanical or not. Or if you have any recommendations where we should mount it. Now, some do go off the camshaft, but that's like more Hemi stuff. I'm not sure if any, I mean, I don't even know if you can run an LS fuel pump off the camshaft. I really don't know. But yeah, this is where we're at right now is we really need to just get the fuel pump figured out and the fuel system, and then just slap the wires on there and we're good to go. MSD crank trigger kit comes with some nice brackets and everything, so we pretty much got to slap that on the balancer and hook it all up, and then we'll be ready to go. Here's one of the pulleys with the belt, and the cool thing about Alky Diggers is, look at this, they got an LS belt drive kit, so you can get everything, which has some, okay, they got everything, God. They have, they seriously do have a little bit of everything. So you can go over there and they have a whole billet standoff kit that comes with the stands and everything to space everything out, so you can just slap it right on your LS. Obviously, like I said before, with this application with so much junk in the way, it's going to be slightly more difficult, but we're going to have to figure out a way to get the fuel pump to work behind the balancer, opposed to this one, which goes in front of it. So, yeah, we got some work to do and some thinking to do. So if you guys have any recommendations, please comment below. I'd love to see an active comment section. But I mean, this is it's a badass little piece. We just got, I'd say, probably the last 15% of work left to do. And then it's going up to the hub dyno at TKM, and then we're going to start testing it at the track. We kind of already have the suspension figured out. We're hoping that the setup for the, you know, weight bias and everything stays pretty similar to the Hemi. Obviously, it's a lot smaller, but, you know, we do have a little bit more piping with the turbo kit, so only time will tell. So there's just kind of an update, what we got going on with the Black Sheep. A couple weeks worth of work, just grind on it, knock it out, get it going, and then start racing. Now, it is racing season about done, but we're going to start heading south. We're going to start going to Florida. We are going to go to Cletus and Cars. Super excited. I've never been. I always wanted to go, and I plan on going twice, and just some things didn't work out. Cars broke. This didn't happen. But I think we're going to go down with possibly the Bad Apple, and we'll take Phil's car down and just go have some fun and hang out. It looks like an absolutely awesome event every time. So much fun. Great for drag racing. Gets a bunch of people out there and have some fun, and yeah, that's what we plan to do. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, comment, like, subscribe. Drop a comment below. Let us know what you're thinking. Where should we mount everything? If you have any recommendations, what to set up on your car. And thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.